Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to Chippy's Couch. So today is episode 10 of our yo-yo only adventure, and I thought I would start today's episode in hell just to be a little bit different, because what I was farming for was the guide Voodoo Doll, and as I clicked record, one of them showed up, which is absolutely amazing and starting us off with a little bit of a YouTuber look. So let's head back home. So today's episode 10, and episode 10 seems to be a pretty special number here on Chippy's Couch. In the Overhaul series, we had Chaos come in and overhaul our entire spawn, and it looked amazing. I'm still thinking about it. It's a shame we can't keep that world for every series that we do. In episode 10 of the Thorium series, we had Turkor come in, and we poured one out for our boy. And in today's episode, we're going to go into hard mode, something that I'm very excited about because it means like a whole bunch of new yo-yos, new animations, harder bosses. Like I'm very thrilled about this. I've been looking forward to this episode for quite some time. So yeah, episode 10. I'm going to dedicate this episode to all of you as well, people that have made this possible, people that have been supporting me since the revival of the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. All right, well, where do we start with today's episode? Well, it's actually going to be pretty easy, I would say. I spent a good amount of time today going through my world and making sure I had everything ready for the Wall of Flesh. It's going to be a little bit different than some of the other fights we've done recently because we're going to have to be up close and personal with this mad lad. It's going to be, it's going to be a lot different, to be honest. But to make that possible, what I've done is I've swapped out one of our accessories, and this is kind of cool. So I've now got an obsidian shield instead of the horseshoe balloon, and that's because the advantage of this armor is that you get extra jump height and you also get like an extra jump as well. So as you can see, our mobility is amazing. It's really, really good. So we are stacked for the Wall of Flesh, my friends. So let me buy some apple pies. I'm still thinking about apple pies. Truly, I am. When we first had one, I was like, man, you know, apple pies, nobody ever talks about them. I got a lot of responses from American people like, James, Thanksgiving, apple pie. We don't really have that over here. You know, in my line of sight, nobody's talking about apple pies. However, I am in America the day after Thanksgiving, so maybe I will get to experience a little bit of this apple pie goodness. I'm really hoping I will. I really am, because I haven't had an apple pie in so long. And I feel like that needs to change. I can't even bake one because Courtney doesn't like apple pies. And my family don't live close, so I can't be like, who wants a slice of apple pie? The bin? Maybe I'll message Python. I'll find out if Python likes apple pies. I'm going to get back to you on that one. If he does, I'll make one for Python. And I'll just have like the fattest slice. Alright, so I've got the area where I want to start the fight. I'm just making sure I clear out some of the enemies. Although, you know what? It probably doesn't really matter all that much. Because what's going to eventually end up happening is they're going to be left behind. We're going to be moving pretty quickly. Alright, let's chuck this bad boy in. And I will give this a go. So one thing I remember a hell of a lot from my vanilla series is that if you want to do this fight correctly with a yo-yo, you have to stay close, because what actually happens is, now this is going to be a little bit different, because we've got the Demon Scythe, and the Demon Scythe is going to do the bulk of our damage today. But what actually happens is, the Hungry respawn so quickly, and if you're not able to kill the Hungry, well then you're not able to do the Wall of Flesh. But like I say, this is not vanilla, this is modded. Well obviously, you all know that. But I emphasize it because it's going to be so different. So I've just taken my heal and my thorium heal, which basically means we have about a minute before we can get back into the actual fight. And I really am relying on that Demon Scythe now to just do all of the damage here. Oh, I actually leveled up. That's kind of cool. But it's going to get pretty intense. That was the hardest bit when I did this in vanilla, is the fact that obviously the boss fight speeds up, which, you know, is inevitable, right? But you've got to stay close. You've got to deal with the speed up. You've got to tank the damage. And it's a bit of a game of chance, this fight, to be completely honest, when you're doing it with a yo-yo. But what's going to happen is once we go into hard mode and we get ourselves a yo-yo bag, the damage output and just the use of the yo-yos is just going to go up so much. Because we're eventually going to be getting yo-yos that do like 3 times the length of this. You know, yo-yos that will traverse the whole screen eventually. So today I actually went through and I labeled all of the yo-yos for the rest of the series, and I marked their damage and exactly where we get them. Kind of like what I did with the pre-hard mode yo-yos, but, you know, it's like a list that you guys didn't get to see. It's just something I've been working off. And the balance in between Thorium and Calamity yo-yos is different, right? Because a lot of the Thorium ones are very high-powered and don't require as many steps to get to. So I think it might be a case of we use some of these higher-powered Thorium ones, we work backwards to get the Calamity ones, and this is going to be the case until we get to Moonlord. But obviously, as you know, after Moonlord, we've got like another half of the Calamity mod, right? Calamity's pretty crazy once you get past Moonlord. So that's when the balancing's going to really like kick back in, where it's going to be like, okay, now we're favored towards Calamity. But I feel like, you know, with a whole bunch of Calamity armor and these really powerful Thorium yo-yos, I feel like we're going to be really, really like steamrolling the rest of the game. I might be wrong. Obviously, see, this is my biggest problem here. So what I just did then was I was, and I'm saying this as like a little bit of a guide, like I'm an expert at Terraria. But what I was doing was I was using my Shield of Cthulhu, and when you've got the little Hungry behind you, you actually end up knocking yourself back and you get stuck in the same place. This is something I didn't realize for many years, right? This is why I'm passing this info on to you. Maybe you've already noticed. Alright, so it's going alright. I've got a little while left for a heal. I just really need some of these demon scythes to land. I don't exactly know how much of the world I've got left. I wasn't really paying attention. I've been really keeping my eye laser focused on the yo-yo. So our damage is really slowed down to a crawl. So I think what I've done wrong here, truthfully, is I've gotten a little bit scared and I've started to back off. And I think that's where the fight's not going well for me right now. But maybe we can pull it back. I'm not too sure. That might be something we could do. Maybe if I heal up and stuff. Stay a little bit closer. Yeah, we just need to be doing more consistent damage to really end this fight. But I've just got to remember not to use the Shield of Cthulhu. And it's so strange because it's so ingrained into your head after playing expert mode for so many years. You're like, alright, Shield of Cthulhu. You're in a bad situation? Shield of Cthulhu. Can't do that here. Okay. Getting towards the end now. I think everything's going to get pretty quick pretty soon. I really wish I knew where I was in my world. I don't have a clue. I really don't. Okay. Alright, I need to get out of here and heal a little bit. Can I heal up yet? How many seconds have I got left on a heal? Oh, there you go. Thank God. Okay. I'm so nervous for the rest of this. I'm kind of hoping I just do some, like, random shots and get it in. Okay, I'm going to tank the end of this. Hey! That could have gone so wrong. If I'd have just gone, nah, I'll be fine. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. All right, we did it. I couldn't even get my words out then. What is this? Hermit's Box of 100 Medicines. While equipped, the player will spawn with full health rather than half. Summons the Third Sage. What's the Third Sage? I don't actually know. Calamity, are you changing? What's going on? Calamity, I thought I knew you. Clearly not. Alright, well, let's open this up. Bam. So inside, we got a whole bunch of stuff. We got the Rapid Meow Thrower. Oh, okay, okay. Pretty cool. We got a Bard Emblem. We got a Sorcerer's Emblem. We got a Breaker Blade. Cool. We got the Demon Heart. We got a Mask. We got the Demon Trophy. Boost spawn rates by 1.25%. Do you bother? We also got a Crimson Key so that we can open up the Crimson Chest that comes with the little floating island. Oh my God. What is the Third Sage? Oh, it's a pet. It's a pet. Oh, it's really cool. It kind of looks like a Pokemon. Oh, it's really cool. All right. So what's next for us? Well, the first thing that we've got to do, unfortunately, and this is like the boring thing. Usually I can skip a lot of this. But we've got to go through the ores. So we've got to go... Oh, the Steampunker. She is awoken. So yeah, what we've got to do is we've got to go through like Cobalt Mithril, because we're going to need a Mithril Anvil. And the Mithril Anvil is going to allow us to craft the Sheik, which is going to be a hard mode yo-yo. Not one that's modded. You know, we're not going to be able to make any modded yo-yos for a little while. We have to take down a boss first. So let me deposit all of that. See you later. The box of 100 medicines. I don't think I want to keep it, but I do think it's cool. Oh, okay. I get it. While it's equipped. So what does that say now? As the ice melts in the springs and waves wash the old moss's hair. Thank you, goodbye. Alright, I don't know what that means. No idea. Okay, so we are here to smash some altars, and then once those are smashed, I brought everything with me so that we can just go mining, because it should be a pretty simple transition into getting our next yo-yo. It won't be modded, like I said, but that being said, it should be better, and because of the better yo-yos, it might have a special effect that we don't know about yet, which should be pretty interesting. So let me smash up these boys here. We got Cobalt, Orichalcum, and Titanium, which is cool. Which is not my favorite. I think my favorite is Cobalt, Mithril, and then I really appreciate Titanium, so I'll take Titanium over Adamantite. But I'm still kind of like classic with the first two ores. So looking at this, we're actually we're all right. This is not too bad of damage output, really. I mean, killing a whole bunch of wraiths. What is this? Halloween? What's going on? Okay, so now that we're in hard mode and we got the altars smashed, it's going to be a case of going through all of the ores, like I said. But we do also need some Souls of Light and some crystal shards. And this is a pretty great place to be, because if enemies come by one, I'm able to take them down because I've got enough damage output, which is great. And then it's also great because there's just a bunch of ore around here. And what I like about going into hard mode is that feeling of, okay, so mining is kind of slow right now. Like right now, it's kind of slow. Obviously, it's not as slow as when you start. But real quick, with hard mode ores, you go in from like average to like super fast. It's pretty great. Like, I'll make a cobalt pickaxe and it's already better, right? It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. I think in today's episode, we might have a lot of these moments where there's less jump cuts and I can just chat. So, you know, in the last episode, I was saying that I wanted the day to be over so that I could watch the Breaking Bad movie. Now, I'm not going to give away any spoilers in the slightest because, like I said, I don't know what people have watched and what they haven't watched. But I will say this, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I feel like Breaking Bad has a perfect ending, and it's just, it felt like a little epilogue to that, you know, just like a little bit of like, all right, here's your favorite characters, you know, you've waited 6 years after the show has ended, here's a little bit of, you know, a little bit of fan service. It's a bit fan servicey, but I think it's great. I think it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. All right, so we need 10 Souls of Light. We've only got 6, so I'm gonna have to linger in this area a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the outskirts and just see if I can get some more ore. So I have got everything with me to just make things on the fly. So I think after I grab this cobalt, I should actually be done for cobalt. You don't really need that much, do you? It's just like a little bit. Let me grab all of this. Thank you very much. And I'll make a nice flat area. So let me slap this down and I'll slap this down. We will make cobalt. Yeah, that's more than enough. 15 pieces. Make that. Thank you very much. Take these two with us. And that's it. Right. Hey, look at this. We found a wizard. So, once I've killed... I don't think that bat's coming for me now. Let's have a little look at what it sells. You know, obviously we're playing modded. Might be a little bit different. So we got a music sheet for a harp. We've also got the puzzling cutter. No one said it was a sword. So what is it? I'm kind of in... I kind of want to see what it does. Because nobody said it was a sword. Come on, I'll give it a go. Oh. It really isn't a sword. How much did it sell back for? 6 gold. So that cost me 24 gold just to have a little look at. You know what? It was worth it to see something a little bit different. So, progress is going amazing. I didn't think it would go this well. But I've got all the Souls of Light. I'm just lingering around to get my my crystal shards. And then what I'll do is I'll go get Mithril from the elevator. It'll be a lot easier just getting it there. But 13 Souls of Light, 7 crystal shards. I'm making great pace. I feel really confident about this. I didn't think it would be this easy, to be completely honest. But I really feel like better yo-yos has just given us just so much strength. It feels pretty good. But yeah, I'm just gonna linger around, walk around a little bit. Okay, so I've actually managed to find some orichalcum. I'm fairly certain I was calling it mithril before, so ignore that. Hey, pirates are approaching from the west. I don't feel like I've ever had pirates that quick. We're like a day into hard mode. This world doesn't even have a meteorite yet. I had to skip the Star Scatter boss because my world just like, it just isn't ready yet. Pirates though, really? I really hope I can make my my yo-yo before heading back there, because that's just going to be just getting mauled to death at spawn point. That's what that is. If I could have got a yo-yo bag as well, oh my god, that would have been amazing. I would like that. That is one reason it's just worth sticking around underground for, just for a little bit. Just like, is a skeleton merchant going to pop up? Thankfully, though, I did prepare ahead, and I do have enough money to get the yo-yo bag. But it's just a case of whether it spawns. But the second that spawns, our damage doubles, which is amazing when you think about it. Like, it's a pretty big increase for an accessory that only costs 50 gold. It's pretty great. Thought I would fill you guys in. Everything is going amazing. Like, I can't believe how well this has gone. I really thought today's episode might be a little bit harder, but nah, it's all good. So I've got one more crystal shard to obtain, and then I'm pretty certain I've got all of the ore I need to make the anvil. The only thing I was really praying on, and maybe I'll get a little bit of YouTuber luck here, is that the skeleton merchant would just pop up while I was lingering around. Unfortunately, not. I don't know when I'm going to dedicate time to go find him. I feel like, you know, it's an essential. Like, it's as essential as, like, putting on a piece of armor, isn't it? Like, I've got to get that accessory if I'm going to play hard mode yo-yo, right? Okay, so let me grab this last crystal shard, and I'm fairly certain that's the recipe. I might actually be wrong, because I'm going to be honest, this was all Googled many hours ago. Right. It's a good time to leave. Oh my god. Did that really have to happen as I was bailing out? Thank you very much, Earth Elemental. I used him on the thumbnail for a series. It might have been the Mega Modded. Anyway, I think he looks great on a thumbnail. Okay, so let's make up our orichalcum bars. We're going to make that many. We're going to slap down a workbench. How do you get the anvil? Come to think of it, how many is the anvil? Is it a lot? Is that where I'm going wrong? 12. You make it at an anvil. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? If you make metal at an anvil, where did they make the first anvil? Do you know what I mean? If you make anvils at anvils? I've always wondered that, and I still don't know the answer. And I'm talking about in real life, obviously. Okay, right. I'm going to make a new yo-yo. And to get there, I will need a wooden yo-yo, I'm fairly certain. So, I do have one to hand, the very first wooden yo-yo that we made. It's now going to be upgraded to the Chic. So, this does a base damage of 50 compared to this one, the Cascade, which is 51. Seems about right, but this one's got a godly prefix. So let's have a little look. Let's see if it has a special attack. It doesn't. And I feel like that might be a disadvantage because it doesn't. I feel like the Demon Scythe ability is so strong. You know what I mean? I feel like that's that's what goes through. Right. So with that being said, I'm going to deposit all of this and we're going to think of a game plan. So opening this up, let's have a little look at these bosses. So to talk you through it, the Borean Strider is the one from the Thorium mod, and Cryogen is from the Calamity mod. So what we have to do to get any of the modded yo-yos is we need to take down both of these bosses. So the Borean Strider will give me one from the Tarantula that does 45 damage, which is base damage, which is pretty great. So that one's going to be the most useful because I'll get these tarantulas essentially. And then Cryogen is going to create a new type of ore, and that's going to give me one for 36, which will be the Shimmer Spark. So 45, 36, and this is where the imbalancing comes in. But once we've done both of those, we're going to be pretty damn strong. So in the next episode, guys, we're going to get ourselves a skeleton merchant, and we'll crack on with those bosses. But I think that's going to do it for today's episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.